Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, YouTube land, YouTube world. All right. I'm here this morning to just talk about Nolan Wells. That's it, that's all. What is going on? Why are there so many unanswered questions still today? And Nolan's bodies was found on July 6th. Why do we still have so many unanswered questions? Is my question. I don't understand. A lot of us are still confused. Okay, they gave him his funeral, going away, gathering on Monday, and they had a closed casket, which I still want to know why was the casket closed? And when they said, when they found him, they identified him from his dental records. So that left me with the conclusion that his body was, unable to identify. But that's not what they're saying now. There's so many questions to this case unanswered. He was laid to rest Monday, closed casket. Then the independent autopsy came out. What, yesterday? Yeah. And the Mississippi examiner still has not released their autopsy results. Why? Why? That is my question. And the independent autopsy still is inconclusive because the examiner for the independent autopsy did not have all of the body parts to come to a conclusion. The first examiner in Mississippi did not send all the body parts, meaning the throat. The throat was missing. Why was the throat missing? Why? All of the body parts should have been sent to the independent examiner. I didn't hear anything. I don't know. Maybe some other people heard about the lungs. Were the lungs there? Because that could tell us if water was in his lungs. If water was in his lungs, then that means, okay, he did drown. But I didn't hear anything about the lungs. Was water in his lungs? Because if they were, that means he drowned. If water is not present in the lungs, then he did not drown. So my question is, what about the lungs? I didn't hear them speak too much about the lungs. Was there water in his lungs? That will tell us a lot, whether he drowned or not. I don't have the answer to that question. I've been watching a few people, but I don't hear anything about the lungs. Was there water in his lungs? I don't get it. Why are there two autopsies have been done now? Why don't we have definite answers to this case? Why? In Mississippi. Funeral, independent autopsy. This is where we're at right now. Still with no answers. No answers. Why isn't Mississippi releasing their autopsy? Their autopsy should have came out first before the independent autopsy, right? Why is his throat missing? That would tell us a lot. Was he choked? Really? Then they also said that he had a red, like, trauma wound on the back of his head, pooling of blood in the back of his head. I don't know if it's pooling of blood or was it a injury to the back of his head. That's another unanswered question. Too many unanswered questions in this case. Why is no one being held accountable to all of these unanswered questions. It's weird. It's suspicious. Very suspicious in my eyes. Very suspicious. Was this an orchestrated cover up? Was it? It's starting to look like it because it's questions and no answers. Okay? Why haven't everybody's phone who's involved in this case, why haven't everybody's phone been confiscated yet? The data on those phones will tell us so much. Unless, like an electronic forensic, somebody get these phones to all these unanswered questions, it would answer so much. I didn't hear Crump talk about the cell phone data. Are they going after the cell phone data to get some of these questions answered? Just so many holes and not understanding. I'm not understanding. Everybody's so quick to say there was no foul play. From the governor to the sheriff. Everybody's saying, oh, no foul play, no foul play, even before the autopsies was released. How do you know there was no foul play? The governor. How do you know that? How do you know there was no foul play? The sheriff. How do you know there was no foul play? The rescue people, the Navy, Cajun people, the search party man. It was foul play because there's no reason for all of these questions to still be unanswered. So that lets me feel that foul play was involved. What are you doing, Freeway? Too many questions. Too many questions. Even Nancy Grace is on this case now, questioning this case, everything about this case. And you know Nancy Grace, when she gets involved, she wants answers. I used to watch her, back in the day, but I haven't been watching her lately until now that she's on this case. And once Nancy is on the case, it's gonna be a lot. Shout out to Nancy Grace. This phone, like the mom said, things was deleted out of his phone when he got it back. Why? Why was things deleted out his phone? They said when he found him, he was fully clothed. That's another thing. If he was on the beach, why would he be fully clothed? Then I hear other people saying that he wasn't. He just had on swim trunks and no shirt when he was found. What? None of it is making sense. None of it. And then with them boys, they said they had made a phone call saying that they were having boat trouble at some point. In maritime law, you don't leave a passenger behind. They have a list of people. This is how it's supposed to be. A list of people who was on your boat. People who are accounted for on that craft. I don't get it. I don't get it. I need answers. The captain of the boat, whoever was driving the boat, who was driving the boat? Because they should be held accountable. They are responsible for the passengers on their boat. When they call for help, they said everyone was aboard when they were having boat problems and they called for help. They said everyone was aboard the boat and everybody was in good health. So was Nolan aboard the boat and in good health when they made that call? All of them boys should have been questioned, is how I see it. Every child on that boat, every adult, if it was an adult on that boat, because who was driving it? All of them need to be questioned. This search guy, whoever his name is from the Navy search party. He's making it sound like Nolan didn't get on the boat. He stayed with the girl. You know, they were saying that before. Oh, Nolan stayed with a girl. He didn't come back with us. And then the girl, this so-called girl, Katie, is saying that he did not stay with me. He left with the boys. So what is true? What is true? What is not true? This Navy search guy, he's trying to make them boys look innocent. Like all of this was a tragedy, a tragic accident. Like them boys are all innocent. Saying that where they were at on the island is a very dangerous place because of the rip currents and the tide and everything. So why wasn't signs posted on that island saying this is a dangerous area due to the currents and the rip tides? Yeah, this is my theory. Why? If it's such a dangerous place, signs should have been posted with the rip currents and everything. Not making sense. It boggles my mind. Other people in the YouTube world are saying that Nolan was sacrificed. You never know. This is the theories that are floating around the internet. I don't put nothing past Mississippi. Look at its history. Mississippi has a very dark history, if people don't know. Going back to this boat, there was drinking, maybe drugs, who knows, aboard that vessel. And that's not following the maritime laws. The captain of that boat can go to jail if things go wrong on your boat, on your vessel. So who was the captain of that boat? If it was underage drinking, why was nobody charged? Was an adult present on that boat? Was no adult present driving the boat? Who was the boat captain? Too many questions. This Navy guy who found from the search team said that he was found, Nolan, face down, fully clothed, meaning he drowned. That don't mean that he drowned. This search captain, this search guy, I guess his name is Todd, from the Navy Cajun search team, is just telling these his view of things and not facts. But he's talking all across the internet. Like what he's saying is facts. He's calling it an incident. Body found by the park ranger. Washed up on the island. Nancy Grace had some good questions. Said it doesn't make sense. We're not the only ones saying none of this makes sense. Nancy Grace is even on the case. It doesn't make sense at all. And once Nancy Grace is on the case, hopefully some questions will get answered. Nolan was not left on that island with that girl. She said he left with those boys. They're talking about who was the search guy. I guess Todd is talking about these rip currents, like I said. The rip currents were strong in that area. So maybe that's what happened. Well, rip currents, the rip currents do not typically return a drowned victim to the shore of where everything took place. Via Google, rip currents pulls things caught in them straight out to sea. generally carry bodies further offshore or into deeper waters. Nolan would have washed ashore somewhere else. If he got caught up in a riptide, it would have took him further out to sea, further out, and he would have washed up somewhere else, not where it took him. He wouldn't have. How could he wash back up the shore in the same place that the incident took place? It doesn't happen that way. Nature doesn't work that way. It's nonsense. If he was taken by a rip current, he would have washed up somewhere else. The stories are all over the place, not adding up at all. When a tide or a rip current gets you, it takes your body further out into the water, and you end up washing up somewhere else. It does not bring you back to the same place. Okay? Jackson County, that the first autopsy needs to be released. Why are they holding it? Did he drown? Was there water in his lungs? Or was his lungs dry? Why was the phone not returned to the mom? Why did she have to use the 360 app to track it? Katie called the parents. Nolan's own friends didn't even return the phone. No, the mom had to track it. And why weren't dogs allowed to search the boat? Why? They said they asked could they search the boat with dogs, and they denied it. Why? Why didn't they let the dog search the boat? And he was not with the girl Katie because Katie said he left with the boys. When the boys called for help with the boat, they told the emergency dispatch that everything was good. Everybody, all of his passengers were good. They were well. They were safe. So when he made that call, like I said, was Nolan on that boat? Doesn't make sense. And why would the sheriff say off the top from the beginning that there was no foul play? How would the sheriff know there was no foul play when an investigation wasn't even done at that point? It was in the beginning of the case. There was no autopsy results, nothing. But the sheriff and the governor are saying there was no foul play. Unanswered questions, and we need answers. 100K or either 125K reward for information has been put out by Al Sharpton. They're not ruling out foul play, but they don't have a definite answer yet, including the independent autopsy, because all of the body parts, like I said, weren't transferred to Washington, D.C. to the independent autopsy. There are too many questions still in the air. Too many that are not being answered, in my opinion. My opinion, as a person who has lived life for many years, no, it's not making sense. Rip currents and tides do not pull you out and drown you and then return you back to where it began. No, rip currents pull you out to sea and you wash up somewhere else, not where it began. Common sense. Like I said, there's no more common sense. Nobody critical thinks anymore. They let the news organizations and everybody else tell them what happened instead of thinking for themselves. But good. The mom, she filed court paperwork, administrate tricks over Nolan's estate. damages tied to Nolan's death, just in case foul play was involved. A few days ago, she filed paperwork, the mom, for these circumstances surrounding Nola's death, just in case she has to sue the county, Jackson, because he was an adult when he died. The mom had to take those steps, legal actions, just in case she needs to sue for a wrongful death. Those were not his friends. I feel, my personal opinion, I feel they brought his body back the day before he was found. That's what I feel. They dropped his body after whatever happened to him. They dropped his body back on that island to the same place, and it was found on July 6th, the morning of July 6th. Another thing, they keep saying, oh, Nolan told them to go ahead and leave him with no phone. Why would Nolan say, okay, go ahead, just leave me here with no phone? How was he to get back home with no phone? Nobody remembers phone numbers anymore. This These phones have done us such an injustice, I'm telling you. Because nobody remembers phone numbers anymore, including myself. I don't remember phone numbers. Everything is in my phone. If I don't have my phone, I don't know nobody's phone number. That's just me. And I'm sure it's a lot of other people. Nobody knows phone numbers no more. Oh, wait, let me get my stuff. Yeah, nobody remembers phone numbers. So why would he tell them boys, oh, go ahead and leave me. I'll be okay with no phone? Doesn't make sense at all. It makes no sense. I know he didn't know everybody's phone number in his phone. Nobody does. So when you leave me here, who am I supposed to call? Who am I supposed to call to pick me up? Or how am I going to call people when I get back to land with no phone? I don't get it. I don't get it. That's my opinion. Whatever they did to Nolan, they took his body and brought it right back to the beach. Brought it right back to that island. This search guy talks as if he knows what happened. Like he knows for a fact. He was drowned. Hi, maybe. Hi, girl. How are you, sweetie? I hope you're having a good morning. I hope you're having a good morning, my friend. Yeah. They were trying to get rid of evidence. That's what they were doing. It's ridiculous. They say, oh, he left with the girl without his phone. Knowing nobody knows numbers in their phone anymore. If I don't have my phone, I don't know nobody's number. It's sad what has happened to us as a society with these phones. If I don't have my phone, I don't know numbers. I just can't call you because I don't know your number. Like back in the day when I came up, we knew numbers. We knew phone numbers. We knew them by heart. We memorized them. We don't do that anymore. Everything is in our phone. Our lifelines. If you lose your phone, most likely you lose everything. Phone numbers included. So why would he leave his phone with them boys so he could stay on the island with that girl? That doesn't make sense. And it's lies. Yeah, just listening to that report was terrible. So terrible. Yes. Tell your daughter to memorize phone numbers or either write them down in a phone book. That's what I'm going to start doing. I used to remember phone books back in the day. You see, I'm a 90s, kind of woman. And we had Phone books that we wrote down, handwritten. I'm talking all this, but I need to do the same thing. I need to get me a phone book and write numbers down again. Because when you lose that phone, your lifeline, everything is gone. No numbers, no nothing. Good, Mimi. Tell your daughter to memorize important numbers. Memorize them. Ugh. I don't get it. I don't get it. How can he drown and wash back up to the same spot? It's ridiculous. Drownings don't work like that, especially in the sea. Riptides, currents. It doesn't work that way. It would have took him out to sea, and he would have washed up somewhere else. If he washes back up to shore. That's if he washes back up. Because rip currents are real. They're treacherous. They don't bring you back to where they took you from. Yeah, it doesn't work like that, Mimi. It's ridiculous. Riptides don't bring you back to where you started. That in itself is enough foul play. How does he wash back up to where it began? It's not normal. It's a bunch of lies. Playing with people's intelligence, playing in our face. They must have, and they're trying to cover it up. But then again, the independent autopsy, it didn't mention anything about, his face, his features. It just mentioned that his throat was missing. Mimi, did you hear anything about the lungs? Because I didn't hear anything about the lungs, if water was in the lungs or if water was not in the lungs. Did you hear anything about that? Because I didn't hear it. I'm thinking it was some type of physical altercation too. Because his throat was, no, you didn't hear anything about that part. Me either. That's the main thing I was waiting for the independent autopsy. Was there water in his lungs? Because that would prove automatically if he drowned or not. And what they say? When I heard that about the organs missing, I gasped. Yeah, they said that the organs were, with the body in the bag from the first autopsy, but not the throat. The throat was missing. Why didn't the first examiner return the throat? I thought everything, all the other body parts was there, but the throat was missing to tell whether if he was choked out or strangled or anything. They said about the skull, the back of his head, they said it was a red big mass. Like he got, like it was trauma. What's that? Blunt force trauma. A big red, like, injury to the back of his head. So they were saying that could be blunt force trauma. The type of injury that you get in a car accident or something. Blunt force trauma to the back of his head. Still so many questions. Still so many questions. I don't understand it. I'm thinking, once this independent autopsy comes back, we'll have all the answers. Did he drown? Was he beaten? I still don't have the answers to the questions I had. I would have thought I would hear, he was his face was disfigured, or his lungs, it was water in his lungs, or nothing. I didn't hear none of that. So many questions, and I don't understand it. But I do know one thing: if this situation was in reverse, and all those boys were black, they would have been in jail. And the dead boy was a white boy, all of those boys would have been in jail for murder. If the situation was in reverse. I know that for a fact. Why aren't those boys in jail? I don't understand it. Mississippi has a history of murdering black men and black boys. Yeah, they have a history. Emmett Till is one. It's overwhelmingly suspicious. And I don't know why all of this is not being sent to the grand jury. Start arresting people. Start questioning people. Reasonable suspicion. A crime has been committed. Why aren't these steps not being taken? The first thing I noticed about it is when they had the boy's phone when he was missing. That's the first thing. Holding evidence, tampering with evidence. They should have been pulled in then for questioning. But they did not turn in all of the evidence, meaning his phone. Soon as it went down, they should have said, "Oh, we have his phone." No, his mother had to track his phone. And when she got it back, things were deleted out of the phone. I just believe Nolan was unalive. Somebody did something to him. There was foul play. That's the way I feel. Everything needs to be given to the grand jury so they can start interviewing these witnesses because nothing's making sense. Why aren't these witnesses being questioned? Meaning those boys. Why were they holding Nolan's phone? Very suspicious. Why did the mother have to track the phone? That phone should have been turned over to his mother first thing. Or to the police first thing. Yeah, I don't get it. And his mother's a nurse, yup. Yup. The phone, yes, maybe the phone, the keys, everything should have been turned over. Nothing was turned over. Everything had to be tracked. Yeah, if the roles were reversed, they would all be in jail. Their faces would be plastered everywhere. We don't even hear nothing about these boys. We barely see them. I heard one of the kids did an interview with one of the boys did an interview with what's that guy named Officer Tatum, and they went back to the beach. Looking around, talking. Officer Tatum has a very different outlook on this whole situation. If you guys know who Officer Tatum is, he's trying to explain these boys' case. I don't know why, but it's a lot of people like that who just want to debate and just want to make it seem like this tragedy was an accident when it was not. It's too many holes and too many stories, too many lies, too many unanswered questions. But you have some people who just want to shift it under the rug, like this is just an accident. It's just an accident. There was no foul play when there obviously was. Obviously. Like I said, Mississippi has a very dark history, very bad reputation with black men and black boys. Mississippi. Let's really look at it. Medgar Evers, Medgar Evans, Emmett Till, Mississippi burning murders, where the civil rights workers was abducted and killed by the KKK. Mississippi, very dark history. Another thing, none of them boys attended Nolan's funeral. Why? If that's your friend, why you didn't go to his funeral? If you're so sad about what happened to Nolan as his friends, why didn't y'all attend his funeral? It looks guilty in my eyes. My eyes, it all looks very guilty. Ugh. Like I said, Nancy Grace is on the case now. Judge Mathis is on the case now. I love Judge Mathis. Yeah, yes. Mississippi has a very dark history. The Mississippi burning murders back when the civil rights, when those three civil rights workers went to Mississippi, they were abducted and killed by the KKK in Neshoba County. Medgar Evans, Emmett Till, all in Mississippi. Yes, Nancy Grace is on it, honey. I've been watching her recently. Nancy Grace, and you know when she on it, she on it. I like Nancy Grace. But like I said, Judge Mathis, that's my dude too. He's talking about the case now. And he's a very reputable judge. I like Judge Mathis, well known. You know, I used to watch Judge Mathis back in the day. Yeah, she don't play. Nancy Grace don't play. When she get on a case, she on it. Yep, and Judge Mathis. I love him from back in the day. I used to always watch his show. Remember, he used to be like, "You a crackhead? I know you a crackhead. You smoke crack, don't you?" Shout out to Nancy Grace and Judge Mathis. No nonsense. Yes, no nonsense people. They are on it. He said, "You smoke crack, don't you?" I watch him sometime. Whenever I can catch him. But back in the days, I used to watch him every day when I came home from work. Judge Mathis. Yes, but he got some big hitters on this case. For justice to be found. He is funny as hell. You smoke crack, don't you? He used to kill me with that. And half of the time he was right. He was right because they end up saying, "Yeah, I used to smoke crack." He said, "I knew it. I knew it." Judge Mathis. He don't care. But yeah, it's some big hitters on this case now who have the same questions that we have. And once they're on a case, they're on a case. And I'm glad. I'm glad. Because this case needs as much exposure as it can get. And so far, the web is doing their job. And I'm proud of the web. If one thing I'm proud of this internet for now is stepping up for cases like this and finding justice. Because once the internet sleuths, once the internet detectives get on the case, it's over. It's over. And questions will be answered. Like I said, they trying to say this boy was drowned. Oh, he was taken out by a rip current. He was taken out by the tide. That's a lie. Rip currents and tides don't work that way. Yeah, nobody's gonna be quiet about it. Nobody. This case been on my mind. Just like all the other cases. Carmelo Anthony. Cyrus Belton. That's just a few of unanswered cases. Nobody's gonna be quiet about it no more. Like I said, no rip current or no tide took Nolan out. And we need to know, was water found in his lungs? If water was found in his lungs, then he drowned. Okay, so be it. But that question is not even answered yet. We don't know the answer to that question if he drowned. Was water in his lungs? They said all the body pieces did not come back to the independent autopsy examiner. One being the throat. Why wasn't the throat with the rest of the body parts they sent to the independent examiner? Why was the throat missing? Was he strangled? What's that hyoid bone in your neck? It'll tell if you were strangled, choked, anything. And that piece did not come back with the rest of the body pieces, the body parts. So the independent examiner could not give a thorough result because he did not have all the body pieces. And I know you don't drown. Everybody knows this. You don't drown. The tide doesn't take you out and bring you back. It's not Uber. The current in the tide is not Uber. It's not going to take you and bring you right back to where it got you from. That's a lie. It's going to take you out to sea. And you're going to wash up somewhere else. And water's going to be in your lungs. It's common sense. These people trying to tell us and play in our face like we're stupid. Nobody's dumb. This is not 1965. They're trying to feed us a bunch of nonsense. Hi, Vibrant. Hey, my girl. How you doing on this beautiful morning? I hope everything is okay. I hope your day is going great, my friends. But yeah, I'm just sitting here running my mouth about this case because I just knew. I was like, oh yeah. Once they get the independent results, we gonna have answers. We gonna know what happened, and we still don't know what happened. 2 autopsies later, and we still don't know what happened. Why are they playing in our face like we're dumb? Stop playing in my face. That's what's pissing me off. Oh, he drowned. The rip current got him and took him and brought him right back. Bullshit. Excuse me, Lord. Bull crap. It's not going to take you and bring you back to where it found you. Somebody dropped that baby off on that beach. His body. Somebody dropped that body off on that beach. It wasn't the rip current. That was people who brought that boy's body back to that beach after whatever they done to him. We don't even know what was done to him. Still, did he drown? Question not answered. Was there water in his lungs? Question not answered. Was his body disfigured? Question not answered. Why did he have to be identified by his dental work? Question not answered. They did something to him and are trying to hide it. Trying to hide it. That goes for the governor, the sheriff, the search party, man, all of them. Because everybody's so quick to say, there was no foul play. There was no foul play. When the case started, first thing they said, there was no foul play. How do you know there was no foul play if if the autopsy has not been done? At that point, when the governor and the sheriff, the first thing the sheriff said is no foul play. There's no foul play. Then the governor comes out. There's no foul play. There's no foul play. Then this Navy Cajun man, his search team, now he's saying there was no foul play. Then why are they pushing this narrative there was no foul play so hard? Because there was. Yes, because there was foul play. And they know it. And I'm glad that there's a reward out now. What is it, 100? I think 100 or 125K that Al Sharpton announced. So good. Did he spend the night at one of his friends' house? That's what I'm thinking. You know, Mimi, it came out that after they left the island, they went to some pool party. You know, the picture that came out with them at the pool party in the pool. I'm thinking an altercation or a fight took place then, and they beat him or did whatever they did to him, which caused his death. I'm thinking maybe this is my theory. I'm thinking after that pool party and all of that, they probably beat him, choked him out. That's why the throat was not sent to the independent examiner, because the throat was missing. And he had a major injury to the back of his head, blunt force trauma to the back of his head. So what is that about? What is that about? I don't understand. Yeah, what happened to the back of his head? You only get blunt force trauma when something major happens, something major like a car accident, or somebody hits you in the back of the head with an object with deadly force. Hi, 504 girl. How you doing? I hope you're having. His body was swollen if it was in the water for 2 days. I call BS. Me too. I call BS. I feel like in my spirit, in my soul, I feel they dropped that boy back on that island after they did whatever they did to him. They dropped him back on that island. And then they found him on July 6th. The morning of July 6th. They found him. After they did what they did to him. Yeah. There's so many questions, 504. So many questions that's still on my spirit. I'm still obsessed and I still need to know what happened. Why are we not getting all these answers? Why? It's all unanswered. Thank you, 504. Thank you. Thank you. How was he miraculously uh found in that same spot? How? 2 days they searched for him. Even his father went back to look for him. Or late, on the 5th, early morning. His coach said, you can use my boat. You can use my boat. Then him and the father went out. Right. Why didn't initial coroner share the no? Right. It's like the initial coroner don't want all the information to. He didn't want all the information to go to the independent examiner. He said he didn't send back. He didn't send back all of those parts that would have gave us the answers to all of our questions. Yeah, didn't send back anything. Nothing. I guess they figured we just gonna send whatever we want. Why you didn't send the throat back? Yeah, nothing's adding up, 504. I don't care what they saying either. I don't care. They whatever they coming out saying, it's all lies in my eyes. It's all lies. This case should have been clear cut shut with the autopsies. The autopsy should have told us everything we needed to know. That lets me know they're hiding something. What are you hiding? That you're sending half of the body back, half of the body parts, mainly the throat. Why is the throat missing? That makes me look at it like, was he choked? Was he? Yeah, they're hiding something. The first autopsy done in Mississippi. They're hiding something. I don't know exactly what, but it's something. They're covering for them boys. That's what it is. They're covering for them boys. They're covering for that judge. They're covering for everything because they know something was foul play was involved. That's what they know. They're hiding. Who did say multiple people receiving that? Multiple cases. Yes! How is a body hanging from a tree with multiple trauma on the body? Exactly how, 504? How? Because the Mississippi, they all in cahoots when it comes to blacks. They're all in cahoots for murdered, killed black people. No foul play, automatic. No foul play, no foul play. Lies. Lies. They're covering for their whole racist community in my eyes. Just look at their history. Like I said, too many black men and children were murdered in Mississippi with no answers. It's a cover-up town. That's what it is. A town of cover-ups from back in the day, since Emmett Till and Medgar Evers and those civil rights workers, those 3 civil rights workers who were murdered by the KKK for going to Mississippi trying to get them registered to vote. They murdered those civil rights workers. Who was it? It was 2 black men and a Jewish man, I believe. They murdered them from back in the day. Yes, Mississippi burning. That's where that came from. And it hasn't changed. That's right. And it hasn't changed to this day. 2026. They're still doing the same things. But now, it's harder to cover up. That's right. Now, they can cover it up like they used to. That's right. This is the era of the internet. The era of the internet. The World Wide Web. It's too many it's too much information out here. Nothing can be covered up anymore, Mississippi. It's not gonna work. The internet is on the case. And Carmelo Anthony. They think we forgot. They think we forgot. But the good thing with Carmelo Anthony is that now he has a case. Now he has a team of lawyers who's going to work on his case from here on. And I believe the team he got now is going to put in some work. I pray they do. I pray his new team gets him an appeal or a new trial, because how they did him was so wrong. How they did that boy was so wrong. I don't understand it. They did. That's what they do to our boys, to our men in Mississippi. That's what they do. But now it's harder. Now it's harder for them to get away with it like they used to. Can't get away with it like you used to. You can't cover up everything like you used to. This is the world of the internet. Nothing is going to be covered up like that again. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. As much as they may want it to. Not in this day and age. Not in this day and age. Who you think we are? You think we from 1965? And the internet doesn't exist? No. It's 2026. The same plays ain't gonna work now. We need answers. Somebody gonna answer for this. Somebody better answer for this. Justice. And somebody needs to answer for Carmelo as well. Justice. That's all people want. Is justice. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing less. All we want is answers. All we want to know is what happened. What truly happened. We're tired of the lies. I know I am. One thing that irks me as a person is a bunch of lies. Like I used to tell my son, don't lie to me. The most way you can piss me off is to lie to me in my face. Like I'm dumb. That means you playing on my top. Like the kid said. Stop playing on my top. Stop playing on my intelligence. They think we dumb. Oh, we just gonna tell them this. We gonna tell them this. No, you can't tell me anything. No. Stop playing with me. They think society is all the same. People who can't critical think for themselves. That's what they think. We're a bunch of idiots, even though we are living in idiocracy times. If anybody's seen that movie, Idiocracy, those are the times we're living in right now. But all of us are not idiots. Some of us think for ourselves. Some of us know about critical thinking. Stop playing with us. You got me pissed off making my eggs. I'm trying to have a beautiful morning. But I keep saying all these damn lies and cover-ups. Let this young man get answers for his life. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to higher ups of this world. What are they trying to do? Do they want a race war? I think they want something. That's what they want. Because back to back, it's been Cyrus Belton, who was murdered by the Asian store owner. Then it was Carmelo Anthony, railroaded, just trying to defend himself against a bunch of bullies. Racist bullies, must I say. Because they got it from their father. He's a racist. We seen that clear as day when he came out with that interview. And now it's Nolan Wells. Who's gonna be next? What black child is gonna be on the next headlines to play on our emotions, to play on our tops, like we're idiots, like we can't think for ourselves, like they just gonna tell us any old thing and we gonna take it. Something is being done. I don't know what it is, what they want the outcome of all this to be. They're playing with our emotions. They're playing with our intelligence. And in my opinion, they want a race war. They want black people to go out in these streets and just start doing things, going crazy. And I pray my people don't give it to them. Let's get justice how we're doing it right now, online. Because this online thing is very powerful. No more marching in the streets. No more. No more out there rioting. No more. That's what they want. And I pray, like I said before, I pray my people don't give it to them. Don't get out in them streets going crazy. Do your work online. Talk about it. Keep it in the news. Keep it a big topic until somebody gets justice, until somebody is held accountable. Because somebody needs to be held accountable. Somebody. And when I say somebody, them boys, their parents, whoever was involved with this needs to be held accountable. And the more we talk about it, the better off it will be. I'm so glad so many big names is talking about this, bringing light to it. I'm glad. That's what we have to do from now on. All that marching in the streets, slow singing, flower bringing, it don't work. Rioting, messing up our neighborhoods, burning down our neighborhoods. It doesn't work. Look at history. No, put pressure on their neck in this online venue. And I'm glad. I'm so glad. No more marching, slow singing, flower bringing, burning your neighborhoods. No, no. But that's what they want. They want us to act a fool. That's what they want. Because all three of them cases came out back to back involving black young men looking for a reaction. That's the way I feel. They wanted a reaction. That's just how this world is run. Emotions. They feed off of our emotions. They feed off of our energy. They're not getting it. I know one thing, they're not going to get it from me. And I advise anybody else. Yeah, we all want justice. We all want justice. But don't go out there acting a fool, because that has been proven decade after decade. It doesn't work. So don't go out there acting crazy, thinking you're going to get justice, because you're not. Yeah, just giving them a reason. They want us to get up out of body and go crazy. Thank you, Mimi. That's what they want. So they can have a reason to kill us in the street. So they can have a reason. Don't give them a reason. You keep fighting the way we are. Talking about it. Keeping it in the news. Keeping it a major topic. Don't do it. Tired of this world feeding off our emotions. Yeah, it's a way to do it. We want justice. Everybody wants justice, but it's a way to do it. You know how I tell I used to tell you how you tell your kids. It's a way you do things, son. And this is one of those cases. It's a way to do things. It's a way to get justice. Stay on their necks. Keep it in the news. Keep it a hot topic. Keep talking about it. Like I said, I'm so glad the big names are talking about it. I'm so happy. The big names that matter. Because most of these big names don't care. They trying to set up another narrative. Like, what's his name? Officer Tatum. He want these boys to be innocent so bad. And I'm not saying I want them to be guilty. I'm just looking at the evidence we have been given. And it makes them look very guilty in my eyes. Like I said, with all the unanswered questions, they look very guilty. The whole county, not just the boys, their parents, the county, the sheriff, everybody in Mississippi, the examiner, the autopsy examiner, they all look very guilty in my eyes. Yeah, they trying to bring back martial law. They trying to do something, 504. They trying to do something with all of these cases dropping back to back to back. They want us in them streets going crazy, so they have a right to shoot us down. And I hope my people ain't falling for it this time. But like you said, it's a way to do things. And in 2006, this is the way. Online. Information. This is the information era. This is the information age. Nothing can be hidden anymore. Nothing can be hidden. And everything will be brought to the light. In the words of my father, the Most High, what's done in the dark will come to light eventually. Well, he didn't say it like that, but I'm paraphrasing. But what's done in the dark is going to come to light. Yeah. And it's always, we're in a different time now. We're in a different age now, a different season now. Things are being exposed now. Let's talk about it. All evil is being exposed now. The veil is being lifted now. We are seeing things now. And the evil that's taking place. Evil all around us. But now we're able to see it very clear. Some of us are. Some of us are very able to see it. But some of us are still in the dark. you know, trying to make these boys look as innocent as possible, even with all the facts that are coming out now. Common sense. Yeah, they trying to do something. 504 martial law. They want something. They want something. They want a riot. They want race war. They want something. They want our energy. What they call it? Energy harvesting? Yes. No. You're not getting it. We got answers. Yes, we do. I mean, we got questions. Yes, we do. But it's a certain way we're going to go about getting answers to our questions. Mm-hmm. Can't stand it. From the day I heard about this case, I knew something was wrong with it. From the day I heard about Cyrus Belton, I knew it was wrong. You chase this child down the street, shoot him in the back. Carmelo, you railroad this kid, 35 years in jail for him defending himself against a bunch of bullies, racist bullies. And now Nolan Wells, dead, trying to make it look like a accident, a tragedy. No, it was no accident. Foul play was involved. That was their main topic, their main key words since this took place. There was no foul play. There was no foul play. They pushed that down our throats to make us know, get in our head. There was no foul play. Lies. Lies. And all of this needs to be brought to a grand jury. What is Benjamin Crump doing? They better get on. They better get it going. All this information needs to be brought to a grand jury. All these witnesses need to be called into court. Every person that was on that island needs to be called into question. Them boy, not everybody on the island, but any witnesses. Them boys, first of all, need to be brought in for questioning. Why haven't them boys been brought in for questioning yet? That's what I want to know. Why? I want a dog to go on that boat. I want that boat to be sprayed with luminol to see if any blood traces is on that boat. I want a dog to be brought on that boat. You know them cadaver dogs. They can smell if a dead body was on that boat. Yeah, those are the things I need to see. Go spray that boat. Bring a cadaver dog on that boat. Even though they cleaned it, that don't matter. Don't matter. When a dog or that luminol hit that boat, everything will be revealed. Like the Most High said, everything will be revealed. Yeah, good. Yep, I think I did hear him say Crump is going to a grand jury. Yep, I think he did. Good. I'm so happy it's going to the grand jury. And they need to move it to a different county. Don't bring it to the grand jury where that happened because they're setting the narrative now. No foul play. They're tampering with any future grand jury members. They're putting it in their head. There's no foul play. There's no foul play. They need to move it to a different county and use a grand jury from there. They have cleaned that boat already, and I guarantee you that's not the same boat he was brought back onto the. I bet you this thing is so corrupt. This thing is so corrupt. It's ridiculous. They cleaned that boat. They cleaned it, and like you said, they probably used a different boat to bring him back. But that's how I feel in my spirit. Whatever they did to him, they brought him back on the boat to that island. After they did what they did to him, they brought him back to the island and dropped him off in the same place. What idiots! What idiots! But I'm glad they making these stupid mistakes. I'm glad they made these stupid mistakes. If you want to paint the narrative that he drowned in that water, they should have dropped him off somewhere else. You don't drop him off on the same island if he drowned and the rip currents took him out to sea. You drop him off somewhere else. These people don't know how the ocean works. They don't know how the water works. When the water takes you, it's going to take you. It's going to take you out to sea somewhere. It probably won't be seen again. But if you are seen again, you damn sure ain't going to wash up on the same island once the ocean takes you. Yeah, 504. I'm so glad all these parents are doing what they need to do to get answers for their children. For their children in these racist counties, in these racist states. And Mississippi is one of them. You can't deny history. You cannot deny history. Some people, history, it tells you so much. You know how they say, you got to know your history to get, you got to know the past and the history to know where you're going. This is where we're at right now. You have to look at the past history of that state, Mississippi. They are known for unaliving black men and black children. That is their history. And we must not forget history. We must not forget history. Emmett Till, how they did that man, that young boy, for saying he looked at a white woman. Tortured that young boy and threw him in the water. Yeah. Yeah, but that was so dumb, 504 girl. That was so dumb. If they say he drowned in the ocean, why would you bring him back to the last place he was seen? The ocean don't work that way. When it grabs you, it grabs you. You may not be seen again. Or you may wash up somewhere else. That's how the ocean works. Especially if you get caught into a riptide, like they're saying. Oh, the riptides are very strong on there, on that island. You can get caught up in the riptides and drown. Well, if you get caught up in the riptide, that riptide is not going to bring you back to where it found you. Common sense. Nobody has common sense in this world no more. They just tell you what they want you to know, tell you what they want you to think, and hope you run with it. No, we're not running with it this time. We're not listening to what you say this time because there's too many unanswered questions. Nobody's going for what they tell us anymore. You're not going to tell me just anything. You're not. Okay, I got to move from this window. Now they want to come cut the grass while I'm sitting here. They cut this grass every day. Every day. Anyway, like I said, too many unanswered problems. I mean, too many unanswered questions for me. I'm not going for it. And a lot of boatload of other people are not going for it. We need answers. I want answers. Was there water in his lungs? Was there water in his lungs? If he drowned, why was his throat not returned, not given to the independent autopsy examiner? Why was his throat missing? So he couldn't view the throat. Was he strangled? Was that hyoid bone broken in your throat? That's making me feel like he was choked out. And that injury to the back of his head. How was that? How was that sustained? How was that injury on the back of his head? They said it's like blunt force trauma, like something that can take place in a car accident. That's blunt force trauma to the back of his head. How did that occur? How? See, 504 girl, see, you know Texas. See, you know, you live there. So you know how they get down. You know that boy wasn't going to get a fair trial. And then the world seen. To see the people who live in these places, they know how they get down. See, we the world, we just looking from the outside in. So the people who live in these places, they know how their town get down. I know how my town get down, where I live. Everybody knows when you live in a town how they do. But they'll come out here and tell the world, "Oh, we're not like that. We're trying to give a fair story, and we're going to tell the true story." But most of us who know, we know that county in Dallas is a racist county. Mississippi, a racist state. History. Okay, I'm back. I had to answer my phone. Somebody always want to call me when I'm on this contraption. His family lives out there. It's a very wealthy area. But no matter how much money you have, they still look over. Yes, I know. We never get fair treatment, 504. Look at the history. Look at the history. But it's becoming harder now in 2026. It's becoming harder to play with us now. Because once the internet gets involved, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And it's going to be talked about. It's going to be talked about. And it's going to remain a hot topic until answers are given. Until they answer for their deeds. their dirty deeds, their evil deeds. It's going to come to light. It always does. And somebody going to have to answer for it. That's all we want. That's all we want. All we want is justice. That's it. That's all. Nothing more. Nothing less. We're tired. It's never fair when it comes to my people. It's never fair. People always walk free when it comes to my people. Or people always are never held accountable when it comes to my people. Questions are never answered when it comes to my people. Never. Ex- 504. I know. I know, 504 girl. They're not getting that reaction from us. They're really not. Them days is over. Them days is over. You're not getting that reaction no more. Now you're just gonna get a bunch of us online bringing light to the case while we still out there learning new line dances. That's my people. That's what we do. We dance through the chaos. We dance through the chaos. We dance through the noise. That's what we do as a people. We can't help it. You know, we dance. We dance to stop from crying. Okay? That's what we do as a people. We dance and sing to avoid the crying. I'm telling you. We out here learning new line dances. Abby said, what we cooking today? Oh, wait. What you cooking today, girl? And I'm sitting here making some sausage and eggs. Oh my God. It's crazy, 504. I gotta laugh. It's like to keep from crying. I swear. I really do. But as a people, that's usually how we deal with our trauma. That's usually how we deal with our trials and tribulations in this life. You gotta laugh and keep from crying, honey. As a people. Because we never get justice. We never get it. We never get justice. Ever. I don't know what case I can say we got justice. I can't think of one. I can't think of one. Such a tragedy for my people. Such a tragedy. Yeah, yes, 504. Not our fight. Now, let me say something about that. Not our fight. Yes, I certainly feel that certain things are not my fight. Certain things I'm not fighting for. I fight for my people. I fight for my people. Nobody fights for us. Nobody. So I'm not fighting for nobody else. I fight for my people only. FBA. Black. That's who I fight for. The blacks. Sorry. Sorry. FBA has no friends. Nobody fights for us. So I fight for nobody else. Simple. I search justice for my people because we the only people out here facing injustice. Nobody's facing what we facing. What we have faced for decades. No other group is facing but us. So I don't fight for no group but my own. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. They on their own. 504. I'm not fighting for none of them. Me no black. Remember they always used to say, me no black. You not black. So you handle your situation. Me no black. Yeah, so get out there and handle your business. Handle your scandal. Yeah. Hispanics. They I'm sorry to say it, but most of them think they're better than blacks. I live in a community where I've experienced it. Oh, you better than blacks. Me no black, so you go handle your situation. Yeah, Trump doing what he got to do. It's not my fight. Not my fight. And I'm glad most of us are sitting back because half of those people want to be white. Half those people classify as white. Half those people talk about my community. They talk down on blacks. Me no black. What they call us, Moreno, whatever that is. So get out there and handle your scandal. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I fight for blacks. FBA. Foundational blacks. Only. Now, Nolan, all right, his mom is, I think, half black and Chinese, whatever, Asian. His father's Caribbean, whatever. You got an ounce of black in you, I'm with you. If you claim black, and half of these people don't claim black. Me no black. Me no black. So why you calling for blacks now? No. Fight for yourself. Nobody fights for us. FBA has no allies. Nobody fights for FBA. And now I'm glad we're saying that. It's staying out of people's business. Minding our business. No more. We're not getting out there marching for nobody. No more. They come here offer our civil rights that we fought for. They come here and degrade us, talk down to us, thinking they're better than us. You white, they claim white. So get the whites out there to fight with y'all, to march with y'all. If you don't belong here, that you don't belong here. If your paperwork in order ain't in order, that's your problem. You should have dealt with your paperwork. Deportation has been going on in this country for decades. Trump is not. Hey, Berber. Trump is not. And I'm not saying I'm a Trumpster or I'm MAGA. I'm for whoever does what they need to do for my community. Point blank, period. If your paperwork ain't in order, too bad for you. You come here legally. That's the way I feel. You come here legally. If you're illegal, then you're going to be dealt with. Simple as that. Simple as that. And that's my outlook on it. Deportation has been happening for decades. Trump is not the first president to start deportations. Obama deported people. Every president has. So, if you here illegally, you gotta go. Simple as that. Should have got your paperwork in order. Shouldn't have came here talking about downing blacks. Me no black. Me no black. Yeah, you're not black, so go home. Sorry. Sorry. Me. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's how I feel about the whole thing. I'm not fighting for nobody. Nope. They don't fight for us. They talk down about us. So handle your scandal. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Most of us ain't got nothing to do with it. We minding our business. Finally. Nobody marches for us. Oh, that's okay, be me. I'm just letting tell them how I feel about certain things. Here you go. Oh, you sleep? You sleeping?
Yeah,
Want me put it back down?
yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, handle your scandal. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Like I said, 504. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You're here illegally, you gotta go. That's the way I feel. Point blank, period. Not an ounce of sympathy. Sorry. I done seen a lot of those certain people in my community talk down to blacks, treat blacks like they better than blacks. You gotta go. Birthright citizenship. Ice corner people. No, I didn't see you commenting about birthrights. Oh, okay, let me see. Now they going after birthright citizenship. So we the new target, but we the yeah, birthright citizenship was for the descendants of slaves and their babies. Yes, birthright citizenship was 14th. Its 14th Amendment was not for immigrants, not for illegals. It was for the descendants of slaves and their babies. Trump said that. I watched him say that. It's for the descendants of slaves and their babes, not for illegals. So, yeah, I'm kind of different when it comes to that topic. Nobody should be able to come to this country, have a baby, and you're automatically a citizen, or your baby's a citizen. No, I don't agree with that. No other country allows people to come just have babies, and now you're a citizen, and now your baby's going to be taken care of. Only in the USA. And people take advantage of that. And then come here and look down on the people who built this place and fought for them to be here, meaning civil rights. We fought for that, but everybody else benefit from it. No, go home. Go make your country, go make your homeland great. And that's the way I feel on that. Yes, this 47 we talking about. He said 14th Amendment was for the descendants of slaves and their babies, not illegals, not immigrants. Descendants of slaves. How's he going to target blacks? They can't send us nowhere. Where are they going to send us? This is our land. We built this land. We cannot be deported. I'm FBA, Foundational Black American. They cannot send me anywhere. We built this country. My ancestors built this country. Where they can't send us anywhere. I get so tired of people saying, oh, you blacks next. You blacks next. Next where? Where are we going? Where are they going to send us? Where? We are citizens. This is our country. We built this. Our ancestors built this. They can't send us anywhere. I get so tired of hearing people say that. Oh, y'all next. Y'all next. Next for what? Where are we going? This is our homeland. Most of us was here before the slaves came over. Most of us were already here. So, as far as that, we ain't going nowhere. He's talking about those people who was not born here. Who does not have lineage in this country. We have lineage in this country. Ancestors were here from the beginning of this country. We built this country, my ancestors. We predate America. Okay? My people predate America. We were already here. Point blank, period. So yeah, I don't fall for, oh, y'all next. Y'all, no, we're not. Where are they going to send us? We built this country. We were here before this country was what it is today. So they cannot send us anywhere. Get out of here with that. He can't have an agenda. See, that's the scare tactics that they use against people. That they're telling people. Oh, he has an agenda to get rid of y'all next. He gonna get y'all next. He can't do nothing to us next. We are foundational Black Americans. If you have lineage in this country for decades and decades, before this was even a country, my ancestors predate 1700. I've done my lineage, 1700. So where's you trying to send us? What are you going to do? You cannot send us anywhere. Those are fear tactics that they tell you people. Oh, y'all next. He gonna send y'all next. Y'all gonna be back in chains. The lies. I am FBA. My people built this country. You can't send us anywhere. Foundational Black Americans. I have lineage here. Well, that's how you feel, 504 girl. He has an agenda. Every president has an agenda. He's not the first president with an agenda. I hope you don't think the Democrats don't got agendas. I hope you don't think that. Every president has an agenda. Every president has an agenda. He's not the first, and he won't be the last. So yes, I have experienced illegals in my neighborhood who should not be in my neighborhood causing chaos. Yes. If you are not here legally, you need to go home. Simple as that. We the only country that takes in all of these immigrants and illegals and migrants. You see UK now. UK is burning down. Let's talk about it. Yes, you can't look at one president and say all of our problems have come from this one president. I'm so tired of hearing people say that. Oh, Trump this, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. You think all of our problems started with Trump? He just became president. This stuff has been going on even before Trump for decades. Let's talk about it. Both sides. Both sides. Onika. Hi, Onika. How you doing? Castellano. Is this Rico? Not Rico Reports. Yes, I'm just saying, all of our problems have started way before Trump. Yeah, backstabbing going on for years to my people. Who was the party that started? What party wanted to keep slavery? It wasn't the Republicans. What party fought to keep slavery? It wasn't the Republicans. What party started Jim Crow? It wasn't the Republicans. What party started redlining? It wasn't the Republicans. What party brought all of these illegals over here to replace FBA? It wasn't the Republicans. Let's be real. Every law that has hurt my people was not made by the Republicans. Every law that has done harm to my people was not started by the Republicans. So I don't want to hear that. Hold the group responsible who has made the laws to hurt your people. Hold that party responsible. Stop trying to blame this man for everything. He only been the president for 2 years. Yeah, it predates Biden. It predates all of that. It goes back to slavery, Civil War. Which side fought to keep slavery? Do research. I don't understand. People just come and spew nonsense. It predates back to slavery. Research. Google is your friend. What side fought to keep slavery? Civil War. What sides began the KKK? Who were members of? Well, I know both sides were part of KKK. Democrats and Republicans. Yeah, both sides been flip flopping for years. But only one side initiated these laws that hurt my people. Only one side enacted the laws that hurt my people. FBA. Who made all those laws? Not Republicans. Yeah, they blame the red for everything. I'm not saying I'm red. I'm for whoever benefits my people. Yeah, they like to say, "Oh, the red this, the red that." The red ain't did nothing. Red ain't did nothing. All of those laws were enacted by Democrats. Yes, they play their part, but most of the laws that has hurt us was enacted by Democrats from back to slavery days. Who fought to keep slavery? Civil War. Who enacted Jim Crow? Who enacted redlining? Housing. Oh, Nico, I've been seeing it. I've been seeing it. I don't talk about it, but it is what it is. I blame all of them. Yes, you have to blame both sides in a way, but I look at it like, what side hurt me the most? Which side hurt my family and my people the most? Which side made the laws that hurt my people the most? And it wasn't the Republicans. Sorry to tell you this. A quick Google search will tell you all of this. I've been on this research journey for a minute. Who enacted these laws that hurt me and my lineage? Both in their own way, but for the most part, it was the Democrats. Every law that has hurt me and my family was enacted by the Democrats. I've done my research. Every law that has hurt me and my ancestors has been the Democrats. Every law. Oh yeah, Onika, I've been on this research journey for a minute now. I've done my research. I've done my research. And all those laws that have hurt me and mine were not enacted by the Republicans. Sorry. They didn't make those laws. They didn't make Jim Crow laws. They didn't fight to keep slavery, Civil War. They didn't enact that redlining law that hurt us as far as housing. They wasn't the party who brought over millions of illegals to replace my people. No. I think for myself. I critical think. I research. I don't just come out and spew nonsense. I blame everyone too, but I blame the main one who have made the laws that affected my people. And those laws were not made by Republicans. Yeah, we've been living this life, 504. We've been living this life for centuries. For centuries. For centuries. But I know who was in control, who was in power for most of those years. Who was in charge? Who was in power when all of these laws became laws? I don't hear nothing about. I'm glad you get me that. Well, Anika, are you Rico? Not Rico reports, but the other Rico. Anyway, it don't matter. I'm glad. I'm glad you understand as well. Everyone is to blame for this shit show. Everyone. But I only look at who was in charge when most of this shit went down. Who was in charge when all of these uh evil ass laws were put into place? Who was in charge? And it wasn't the Republicans. It wasn't the Republicans. Every law that hurt me and mine, it wasn't the Republicans. Oh yeah, Onika. I've been on it. Who fought to keep slavery? Civil War. That was my first question. Who enacted Jim Crow laws? That was my second question. Who enacted Jim Crow? I mean, redlining. Which party brought over all these illegals to take to replace FBA? I ain't never seen a party fight so hard for a group of people in my life. Yeah, they fight for these illegals. Do they fight for the FBA like they fought for these illegals? No. Well, welcome, Onika. Oh, welcome. I'm glad you see it as well, because a lot of people don't. They rather just Trump, 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 Trump. He gonna have y'all back as slaves. Y'all gonna be slaves. Y'all gonna be deported next. Deported where? Where my ancestors built this country. They can't send us nowhere. And they can't do no worse that has what has already been done to us by that other party. But y'all keep voting for that party. I don't even know. I stopped voting actually. I don't know. I might vote again. But it just pissed me off when I found out the true history. None of them are for us. But if he gonna remove all of these people who don't belong here so my family can once benefit again, then so be it. Get them out. Because all they do is come here and look down on blacks anyway. Time to go. Bye. And that's the way I feel. You should have came here and got your paperwork in order. You should have came here legally, first of all. Not get snuck in by Biden. Millions of them. Unvetted. We don't know who these people are. They just let them in. Terrorists, criminals, thugs. These people emptied out their jails and sent them here. We don't know who these people are. So yes, they must go. Go home. Go make your country great. No, I'm dead serious. I'm tired. Go home. Go build your country up. And that goes for all of them. I'm not talking about just Hispanics. I'm talking about blacks. If you black, you don't belong here. Wherever you from, go home. Go make your country great. They come here flying other country flags. This is America. Only flag you should be flying is the American flag. If your country is so great, go back there. Go build it up. No, but they come here. The conversation. I have an attitude room to get ready. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, 504 girl. Have a good rest of your day, honey. But they come here and fly their flags in America. If you love your country so much, go home. Oh, it's only one flag that should be flown here. And that is the American flag, which my ancestors built. Yes, I ain't got time. I like history. I like the truth. I like facts. And that's all I speak on is facts. Google anything I've said here. Facts. Nothing but facts. Yeah, they blame that man for everything. He only been in office for 2 years. We've been having problems in this country before he got in office. Oh, it's Trump fault. Oh, it's Trump fault. It's Trump. This man been here 2 years. And before he was here, y'all loved him. Before he became president, everybody loved him, especially in New York. I'm still alive. My phone died. Let me see. Exactly, because if you go to any other country or wherever, you're gonna have to abide by their rules. America is the only place where you can be a foreigner and have more benefits than you know a citizen. Exactly. You're probably going by now, Riku, but yes. Exactly. Facts on top of that have to ask a question on top of another question. In order for it to make sense. And that don't make sense. Yes. And nothing makes sense. I'm gonna make another live on this topic. In 2000, no, he's not so bad at the end of the day. Yeah, listen. I don't know if anybody's still here, but yes, our problems have been here way before this new administration. Our problems have been deep suffering way before this administration. So I don't want to hear that. Oh, it's Trump fault. It's all Trump fault. No, we've been suffering way before he came to office. Stop the lies. Yeah, if you from New York, Onika, everybody loved that man until he became president. He's from New York, Queens. Everybody loved him. Had him all in the rap videos, had him all in the rap songs until he became president. Now he's a racist. I don't understand it. But people follow what the media tells them to believe because they can't think for themselves. They can't research for themselves. So they go with what the media tells them. If the media tells you to hate somebody, you're going to hate him because the media told you to. I'm going to make another live about this. Let me end it right here because this is a Nolan Wells live. And I don't want to get the two entwined. So I'll be back. I'll be back. One in my mouth again. Thank you for whoever came through. Have a blessed rest of your day. Have a great day. That's why I'm trying to become a person. And when she did all of this, all the time, all the presidents know history. He's sure to be living. Yes, Rico. Thank you for coming through. Big Queens in the house. Shout out to Queens. So Rico, everybody loved that man until he was president, and the media told them to hate him. But I'm gonna make another one. Come by for the next one, girl, or guy. I don't know, whoever, human being. Rico, come through for the next one, cause I'm gonna end this one now, cause I don't want to mix the two. Shout out to Nolan Wells, his family. May he rest in peace. Sorry that happened to him, but all people want is justice for that young man. That's it. That's all. Too many unanswered questions. May he rest in peace. We just want justice. That's it. Yeah, they can't think for themselves, and they didn't do any type of research. They just go by hearsay. Thank you, Onika. And I think about the media to them, and they have old American. It's completely different. Yeah, the question is, that they're telling people exactly. It's all a big media game. All a big media game because the other side is losing power. Nobody's voting for them anymore. The truth is out. We know what you've done. That other side. We know the part you played in our existence as a people. We know now. Nobody's messing with them no more. I know I'm not. Now I don't know which way I'm gonna go from here. I might just be independent, but we'll talk about that in my next live. All right, have a blessed day. Thank you for coming through, you guys. Me, Onika, 504. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back. Blessings to Nolan Wells and his family, and the Most High is on the job as well. Everything done in the dark will be revealed in the light. I'm quite sure the Most High is watching everything. Blessings to him and his family. Oh, I appreciate you. Oh, all right. Come back, Onika. Oniko, come back. Come back for my next one. You're going to like that one. Because I just realized I got a lot to say. All right. Have a blessed day, y'all. Peace out.